डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Good day friends, again warm welcome into Chaitanya studio of Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. We would like to continue our previous session discussion regarding the cyber crimes, and in this session we are going to discuss about the cyberspace, criminal behavior and economic impact of the cyber crimes. So, if we look first of all the term, what is the cyberspace? There are lots of misconception regarding the cyberspace, and even we cannot derive the exact definition of the cybercrime or cyberspace, but simply if we look at the definition of the we are trying to define the cyberspace is like cyberspace is a domain characterized by the use of electronics as well as electromagnetic spectrum to store, modify, exchange data via networked system and associated physical infrastructures. So, this is the very broader aspect of the cyberspace. We can see the cyberspace, that means the electronic device that means the devices those who are working based on the pulse, means 0 or 1. Then after electromagnetic spectrum, that means it might be a RFID chip or RFID chip reader. So, we can say this is the electromagnetic spectrum, and then the use is to store, that means we are trying to store the data, we are trying to modify the data, and of course to exchange the data via network, that means entire networking system. Network, that means we can simply categorize more than one devices are interconnected with other, and based upon certain protocols they are communicating, that means they are exchanging the data. So, obviously the protocol, the layers are there. So, network systems and associated physical infrastructure, that means we can say the information the devices like digital hard disk or digital storage medium, the devices like we can say the computers or laptops or any devices. So, this is the physical infrastructure, and we in another way we can also define the cyberspace like cyberspace is the national environment in which digitalized information is communicated over the computer network. So, digitalized information, that means we are copying data from one machine to another machine, we are sending email to one person to another person, we are recording some measurement or some values like temperature or fog density or wind speed from the sensor. So, all those data can be categorized as a digital data and digitized information communicated over the computer network. So, from one machine to another machine, and the cyberspace covers the very large spectrum. In that means we can say the national environment. So, this is the definition of cyberspace. Now, again we discuss regarding the cyberspace. Now, the next discussion is regarding cyber security. So, what is the cyber security? Actually, the cyber security maybe a technology, maybe a framework, or maybe a practice designed to protect the network, because we just discussed in a cyberspace the network is the most important thing or most important component of the cyberspace. Network devices, that means hardware, programs and data from the attack. So devices, that means hardware, program, that means software or software infrastructure, software systems, it would be a website, it would be a database server. So all these program, that means software, and data from the attack, that means stealing the information, damage, that means from the destruction, or unauthorized access, that means someone is not authorized to access all these information, are gaining the access and accessing the information. So to protect such kind of network, hardware, software, data from the unauthorized accesses, there are policies or methodologies or framework. It can be categorized as a cyber security. Now, why the cyber security? Because we are listening, the hacking is everywhere, the security is being compromised, and the digital attacks are increasing very rapidly, etc., etc. So this kind of news we are listening everywhere. But exactly what are the objective of cyber security? What any basic level expectation, what are the basic level expectation from the cyber security are confidentiality, integrity and availability. Now, if we look or we discuss the confidentiality, that means to keep the information protected from the unauthorized access. That means only authorized person, only legitimate user can access the particular information for the remaining world. For the remaining world, this kind of information or this kind of network or this kind of hardware can be protected. So this is the confidentiality. Then after integrity we can say, this is a very broader term. Integrity is someone, we can say integrity, that means only authorized person can ensure about the data accuracy. That means data, which data you are performing with the operation. For example, you are handling or you are developing the system like blood bank management system, or you are managing the e-commerce site. In this kind of applications, you have to deal with lots of data and large amount of data, but you have to define certain kind of access mechanism. So based on the certain kind of privileges, particular person can update, can modify or can alter the data. So the accuracy of the data must be guaranteed. And ultimately, because while we are accessing network or while we are using any digital devices, we should very much concern about the accuracy of the data, and this is the main reason of the huge acceptance of digital platforms. So cyber security must ensure the integrity also. Then after the availability, that means as a developer or as an IT professional, you are responsible to provide the application access on a 24/7 manner. That means your application must be accessible, or your network must be accessible on a 24/7 per manner. Just if we look, we are discussing the example. Recently we have seen we have observed the means downtime or the application crash in a Gmail, means the Gmail service, Google's mail delivery services went out of order. That means the mail delivery means no one can send the mail, no one can receive the mail. So Gmail went out of order, Google's mail service. So at that time the people think that it might be a network error, but they were very much assured about Google and Gmail. That means they think that it might be a problem at network or internet service provider ends, but no one think about that even Gmail can goes down. So this is the guarantee of the availability. That means entire community have put faith on Google, and they believe that on any fraction of second Google serves the purpose, or Google Mail are able to send the mail and everyone can receive the mail. So this is the availability. So as a cyber security professional or as a cyber security person, we have to ensure about the confidentiality, we have to ensure about the integrity, and we have to also ensure about the availability of our services. Now the criminal behavior. Now we have observed that the cyber crimes are happening or as per the means we can say the criminal activities using the cyberspace are going to increase. We are observing huge increase in cyber crimes. So which are the reason behind the huge growth in a cyber crime activities? The huge growth is the cyber criminals behavior or cyber criminals methodology, because we can directly this kind of cyber criminals into the two categories. Like first one are the criminals, cyber criminals, those who are committing the cyber crimes with certain kind of malified intention. Certain kind of malified intention, that means to harm someone, to steal the money, to steal the information. So these kind of malified intentions are main reason behind the cyber crime. And another categories are those who are the novice user, those who don't know about how they are misusing or they are committing the crime. Even they don't know that they are committing the crime. The users like a teenager who is accessing his or her neighbor's Wi-Fi. Now the question, simple question is that how he or she is able to gain the access of neighbor's Wi-Fi. Very simple. He or she might have surfed some video on a YouTube or a certain kind of blogs on a Google. Based on the information he or she gained, he or she tried to penetrate the neighbor's wireless network, and up to some extent or on a particular extent, he or she also, it is possible that he or she might get some tool, and using such kind of tools they can manage the access of wireless network of neighbor. So in that, at this point of time, the teenager is not aware about the intensity or the severity of the activity, because it's completely mischievous mindset. The malified intention is not there. It's all about the to apply the knowledge, to taste the knowledge. So this kind of crime are also possible. So first of all, we need to understand, as a cyber security or as a cyber crime detection expert, everyone needs to understand the mindset of the criminal. So the criminal behavior, the broad diffusion of cyber criminal activities is an issue. Computer crime detection and prosecution, because what happened, technical expertise and accessibility no longer as barrier to entry into the cyber crime. Indeed, everyone can, because you can get the information how to hack the particular website. If you surf 5 to 10 websites, then you can easily get the information or PDF or in form of videos. You can find lots of material, and if you closely study all those stuff, then it might possible. You may succeed. You can launch attack and you can penetrate into the particular website. So this means criminal behavior. What happened, because earlier days hackers required special knowledge, proficiency in programming, proficiency in networking concept, proficiency in object oriented programming system, proficiencies in web development concept, proficiency in database development concept. Then after, by using the mixture of this kind of knowledge, they can launch the attack. And even though after lots of effort they succeed in this kind of hacking activities, but nowadays, because there are lots of tools available and lots of information regarding all those tools are available on internet, so anyone can commit the hacking or cyber crime easily. Now the most important thing, because it's all about, and the huge acceptance of digital platforms are due to the economical or due to the financial reason, because the huge digital platform acceptance are mainly due to the corporate. So while we are discussing the cyber crime, we also need to discuss the economical impact of the cyber crimes. So if we can say the cyber attacks in the country caused the financial damage to tune of the about 5 lakh US dollar to Indian companies in last 12 to 8 months, and this is the survey of the Economic Times. So last 12 to 18 months, Indian companies had to suffer 5 lakh US dollar loss due to the cyber crime activities or cyber attacks, and these are the estimation based on the reported crimes. The actual figures, because it is the sum of reported as well as non-reported incidents, it might goes double or triple than this figure. So which kind of impact, economic impact would have been due to the cyber attacks? So the type of cyber crimes that have the biggest economic impact include loss of IP and business confidential information, the most important thing, because the healthcare, for example, the healthcare industries are investing huge amount on research. Same thing, very big portion are being invested on a research activities by the corporates. But what happened if anyone from the organization or due to any cybercrime, if organization is losing its patent formula or its product formula or any intellectual information, it might be directly resultant into the financial loss. And of course, the sensitive business information, like the classic example is that the Outlook and the Microsoft domains email account are on a sale, and all the accounts are belongs to the senior level executives of the organization, and this kind of information means account credential are available on a dark web to sell, and with a very cheap rate, like for the per account you need, means the buyer need to pay $8 or $10. So using this kind of account credential, you can imagine the rival organization can steal the sensitive information from the organization, and it would result into the heavy business loss or financial loss. Then after, online fraud and financial crime often result of stole personally identifiable information. Now online fraud or the financial fraud, like to snatch away the credit card information, or to initiate some financial transaction, unethical financial transaction regularly, because the hackers have gained the access of our company's account policy or account department related information, like username and password of the account department personnel, etc., etc., and based upon that they are performing regular financial transaction. Now this kind of transaction can be traced only at the end of year, while the account people are reconciling their accounts. So these are also economic impact, negative economic impact. Then after, we can say the financial manipulation directed toward publicly traded companies, opportunity cost, including disruption in production or services, and reduce trust in online activities, cost of securing network, buying cyber insurance, and paying recovery from cyber attacks, or we can say reputational damage and liability risk for the affected company and its brand. So financial manipulation directly toward the publicly traded companies, and opportunity cost, including disruption in production or services, and reduced trust in online activities. So these kind of losses are intangible, but once, because it is a general scenario, once Amazon server is being hacked, Amazon server is hacked by someone, then after immediately what will happen, Amazon will lose its customer base, because generally what happen, people want trust on the Amazon, so they avoid using the Amazon mobile app, Amazon e-commerce mobile app, or Amazon e-commerce website. So these would result into the again financial loss. Next, company has to invest, or organizations have to pay larger financial portion for the cyber insurance, or to secure their environment, secure their system. Because if we discuss in terms of 2010 or 2015, at that time what happened, the companies are having the IT department only. But nowadays, looking towards the increasing trend of cyber crime activities, companies are also need to set up the information security department, and for that department they need to hire the trained professional. Then after, they also need to hire some professional devices, devices like advanced firewall and host based intrusion detection system, endpoint security protection like antivirus software. And for the same, they have to, companies have to invest large financial, company has to invest large amount, and they have to spend the large financial stake of their budget. So these are the economic or negative effect of the negative economic impact of the cybercrime. And we can say the reputational damage. So just we discuss, because due to the cybercrime or these kind of activities, companies has to suffer from loss in terms of reputation also. So these are the negative economic impact of the cyber crimes, and these impacts are rapidly increasing. Okay friends, thank you very much, and I would like to complete this session, complete this discussion at the here. Okay, thank you very much.